Have you ever thought, your tongue weighs almost nothing, yet on the day of judgment, it could be heavier than mountains? Imam Ali, a.s., said, "Beware of speaking too much, for it increases mistakes and engenders boredom." Zubair's tongue destroyed lives, until he realized words are sharper than swords. Don't let your tongue burn bridges you cannot rebuild. Guard it, polish it, and spin it only on truth. Because one careless word can cost you dunya and akhirah. For more inspiring Islamic stories, subscribe to Deen in Minute, where wisdom becomes life. One word can destroy your life, Hazrat Ali's wisdom. Beware of speaking too much, for it increases mistakes and engenders boredom. Hazrat Ali ibn Abu Talib, may Allah be pleased with him. The words of Hazrat Ali, may Allah be pleased with him, have always been like a lamp in the darkness, but for many hearts, they only shine after a deep wound. This is the story of Zubair, a man whose tongue was sharper than a sword, but who learned, through tears, loss, and fear, that silence can be the most powerful weapon. Zubair was born in a small town where everyone knew each other's business. His tongue was famous before his character was. People said, "He speaks fast, like arrows being shot." Some admired his confidence, while others feared his sharp remarks. He was the kind who always had to win the last word in an argument, the one who mocked, teased, and humiliated without realizing how his words were burning bridges that no wealth could rebuild. At the marketplace, his tongue would run wild. If a shopkeeper gave him the wrong change, Zubair would lash out with insults so cutting that the poor man would feel stripped of his dignity. If a child dropped something, he would mock him in front of others. At home, his words would fall like stones upon his own family. His wife cried silently at night, but Zubair would never notice, thinking his sharpness was strength. People stopped inviting him to gatherings. They feared that his endless talking would turn joy into bitterness. He spoke too much, too loudly, too often, and slowly, his words became his prison. One evening, while sitting in a small gathering, an old man with a white beard recited the words of Hazrat Ali, may Allah be pleased with him. "Beware of speaking too much, for it increases mistakes and engenders boredom." Everyone nodded, but Zubair laughed. Old sayings, he mocked. Life is about speaking your mind. The old man simply lowered his gaze, whispering, "A tongue with no guard leads a man to his grave." Zubair dismissed it. He continued his way, speaking endlessly, cutting hearts with his tongue. But destiny had its own way of teaching. One day, his words turned into poison he could not swallow back. A dispute arose in the town. A poor man, Hamid, was accused of stealing grain. The people were unsure, whispers filled the air, and there was no proof. But Zubair, with his restless tongue, shouted in the crowd, "I saw him with my own eyes. He is a thief." The words shocked everyone. Hamid fell to his knees, crying, "By Allah, I am innocent." But Zubair's voice was louder, stronger, and people believed him. Hamid was beaten, shamed, and banished from the town. His wife and children suffered hunger, humiliation, and tears because of one careless tongue. Weeks later, the truth came out. The grain was found in another man's storeroom. Hamid had been innocent all along. The town erupted in anger. Anger not at the real thief, but at Zubair, whose false words had destroyed an innocent family. Zubair tried to defend himself. "I only said what I thought." But the damage was irreversible. The people turned their backs on him. The shopkeepers whispered curses when he walked past. His wife looked at him with broken eyes, as if to say, "Your tongue has burned everything we had." Night after night, he could not sleep. His mind replayed Hamid's tearful face, the screams of his children, and the cursed weight of his own words. For the first time, he understood what Hazrat Ali, may Allah be pleased with him, had warned. Mistakes multiply with too much speech. His tongue had killed his honor, his peace, his friendships. But the story did not end there. One stormy night, Zubair was walking back from a mosque when he heard faint sobs near the old well outside town. He drew closer and saw a frail figure. It was Hamid's son, no older than 12, shivering in the rain. He was whispering a dua, Ya Allah, give us justice. You know the truth. You know the pain of my mother. Zubair froze. The boy's words cut deeper than any sword. His heart trembled. That night, he went home and locked himself in his room. For the first time, silence filled his house. He broke down, crying, whispering, Ya Allah, forgive me. My tongue has destroyed lives. For days, he avoided gatherings. For weeks, he spoke only when necessary. People began to notice the silence of the man once known for endless chatter. Some mocked, has your tongue fallen sick? But others felt a strange respect in his quietness. One day, Zubair gathered courage and went to Hamid's family, who were now living in poverty outside town. He fell to his knees before them and wept. I destroyed you with my tongue. I wronged you with words I cannot take back. Forgive me if you can. Hamid's wife, worn and weak, said softly, Your words broke us, but perhaps your silence can heal others. Zubair took that to heart. From that day on, he began a new life. He guarded his tongue like a treasure chest with a heavy lock. When people insulted him, he stayed quiet. When arguments rose, he left instead of shouting. When rumors spread, he refused to add a single word. People were shocked. The man once feared for his tongue had become the man respected for his silence. Slowly, trust returned. Slowly, his dignity returned. And slowly, the town realized sometimes the greatest strength is not in speaking, but in holding back. Years later, when children would play in the streets and start to argue, their mothers would say, Do not let your tongue become like Zubair's old tongue. And Zubair himself would tell the youth, A sword cuts the flesh, but the tongue cuts the soul. Fear your tongue, for it can drag you to hell more swiftly than your deeds. The memory of Hamid's tears never left him. It was the wound that reminded him of Hazrat Ali's, May Allah be pleased with him. Wisdom. He lived the rest of his life as a man of silence, a man of wisdom, a man who finally understood that too many words only bring regret. And when Zubair passed away, people wrote on his grave, Here lies a man who learned the price of words and found peace in silence, because silence had become his final redemption.